All right. First, we hit the record button like that. Then we hit this.
This bill legalizes sawed-off shotguns.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to ShiftLess. What have I done to... Is it not working?
I only have
Hold on.
one ear. You did something. There it is.
All right.
There we go.
You've worn out your cord.
There we go. Now I got stereo.
All right.
Stereo.
Living in stereo.
Yeah. I was like, this sounds weird.
Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool.
Yeah.
That's moving in stereo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You are no Phoebe Cates, but you're pretty gorgeous.
Man, Phoebe Cates, what a rack.
What's new and exciting, Bradford?
Um,
Oh, yeah, and welcome to ShiftLess, episode 109, the show that's only about bicycles.
welcome back to ShiftLess, where we take calls and handle all things of the heart. What is new? Rode North Shore last night. First full pull for me in quite some time. And it was, dare I say, hard.
Okay.
It was, I was on the Chumba, trying to start stacking some miles on that for hut to hut, because that's the bike that I'm taking. And I'm kind of questioning that thought now. So I don't
On
know.
what bait? Are you thinking Fargo or?
No, I would take my Fargo, but I don't want a fully rigid bike
Okay.
for that.
What- What's the issue with the Chumba potentially?
Just it's got 28 hole rims on it, and I'm just wondering. I just don't want to be the guy whose bike tears up 2 days into the ride.
Okay.
I know my saddle's cracked, and I need to get a different saddle on there. I've got to change my tires too, because I'm not going to run those Aspen. I forgot what tires. The Aspen. They're not the STs, but they're the
What size are they?
2.4s.
All right.
But they're like a muted tread, if you will, like a
So you're thinking K-Monkey or what?
no.
What bike are you thinking if not the Chumba, I guess?
Oh, I'm thinking the Chumba. It's just
okay. You said you were thinking
I just felt out of place on it last night, just because I haven't had much time on it.
okay.
And
You said this was your first full pull in forever.
Yeah, it was definitely the first west side I've done on the Chumba.
Okay.
So
all right,
I'm being wishy-washy.
You're a little premature here,
Yeah.
Bradford.
Yeah. It just had me guessing.
I understand.
Second guessing.
You're learning a new bike.
Yeah.
2 more rides, then let's talk about it.
Yeah.
2 more West Side rides, then let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And maybe what?
And it was hot as.
And well, welcome to the jungle, bitch.
Yeah, and I think I didn't do myself any favors by riding. On Monday, I rode 55, and I waited till.
Oh, gee, we've been talking about this. Come on, Brad.
I'm 100% acclimated, man.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot now.
I was cooked on Monday. I stopped twice for cold beverages, which is not like me.
All right, so you did 55 on Monday,
Uh-huh.
and what was that? Was that a Brad Loop thing, or was that
Yeah.
gravel, or what was that?
Not much gravel to be had.
Okay, so it was a rolling out of the garage 55.
Yeah, I did. I went north first. No, that's not true. I went south first, and then north, and then south. And
Maybe
then
we
back
shouldn't
north.
be riding today.
No, I'm going to ride 1 hour today.
Okay, at Kevin pace. That would be a good move for you today. I should have brought the Brompton after all and really slowed your ass down.
That was precisely my thought. I thought, I'll ride an hour with you, and then I'm probably not going to ride tomorrow.
I think that's a good plan. I think that's a good plan. Man, I have been going deep into the heat acclimation well for as far as trying to figure this shit out. There's much like nutrition. There's nothing that's black and white about any of
It's
it.
just exposure and time.
I mean, obviously that's okay. That's like saying, well, eat fewer calories than you expend. You know, that's how you lose weight. There's more nuance to it than that.
That's fair.
And you can also and I think, dare I say, you're starting to fall in, or you have the potential to fall into the biggest trap of it is on the heat acclimation. The big deal is don't overdo it.
Yeah.
That's the,
I have no clue what's wrong with my dogs.
well, there's somebody walking around and
I fucking hate it when people walk.
you've been around me way too long.
No, we were out. You know how sweet my beautiful wife is. We were out in the driveway one day playing cornhole, and my dog started going crazy, and I go, "What are they doing?" She goes, "Oh, someone's walking their dog." She goes, "I fucking hate it when people walk their dogs." It's like, you are such a meanie. She's so cute.
I saw one more shiny thing. Saw an interesting thing on the drive in. Your little gravel road back here.
Uh-huh.
There's a pair of boots just sitting on the end of it down by the paved road there. I may grab them on the way back out.
They probably put them out for the trash, and the trash didn't pick them up.
Oh,
Trash was Monday.
is that where they pick up their trash
Yeah,
down
at the
there?
very end of that road.
Okay.
If you'll look when you drive by, well, you won't be able to see it on your way out because that road comes off
It
at
angles.
70 or whatever. But their trash cans are right there.
Gotcha. That sounds like a very likely explanation. You have been around me too long, coming up with logic and shit.
So how's the heat acclimation going? What day are you on, and what is your schedule, and how are you handling this? Are you skipping days? Are you going back to back? Or?
Much like my riding every day approach, it's like I've got a plan in mind, knowing that life's not going to let that happen specifically. So today will be day, I'm going to call it 6.5.
Okay.
Because I rode yesterday, but I rode in the morning. So it wasn't in the heat of the day. Now, towards the end of the ride, it got warm. There was some heat benefit to the ride, but it wasn't a heat acclimation specific ride.
Yeah.
So today will be ride 6 of initial block of 10. And I'm trying to knock out 10 in 2 weeks or less.
Yeah.
Is kind of the idea. I was wanting to do 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, knowing that life wasn't going to make that happen.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. The goal is to get the 10 rides in 14 days. And I'm on track to do that at the moment.
Yeah.
But I am throwing a wild card into the mix. We're probably going to head out camping for the weekend. And
It's great camping weather. Oh, shit.
what?
Speaking of camping weather,
What?
I got my tent.
Why are we talking about bikes?
Do you want to pause it and I'll go grab my tent
No, let's
set it up?
Let's do a dedicated episode to that next week.
Okay, I want you to see it.
I do want to see it. I
I meant to get up and set it up. I'm sorry.
Let's do that. Well, we know what we're doing next week then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm really stoked with it.
Okay.
It's
For those that are listening and that may have never listened to or forgotten about it, have we remembered what brand and model it is?
It's a Durston Mid Dome X +1.
Okay.
It's a mouthful.
Okay.
They should just call it like an X1.
So it's a one-person bikepacking tent, or what is it?
It's an ultralight. I don't think any tents are made for bike packing. But
Big
maybe-
Agnes labels.
Oh, yeah, are they?
And I think MSR does too.
I think these guys are out of Canada, and they're more into the backpacking scene.
Understood.
But it's a asymmetrical tent with a symmetrical rain fly, so you have an oversized vestibule. Feel like I keep breathing into the microphone.
I'm not hearing it here, but maybe
It's
you
an
are.
oversized vestibule because of the footprint of the tent. It's wider at the shoulders and narrower at the feet.
Okay.
So the feet area, you have a lot more vestibule area. I can't say that word.
Vestibule.
Vestibule area. But it's just a really cool tent, and it's more of a European design where you can set up rainfly first. So you can You can put the rain fly up with the poles, and then you can be under the rain fly and attach your tent and get in it with limited exposure to the elements,
Okay.
allegedly. Or you can put it up with just the tent minus the rain fly, or you can just pitch the rain fly and use it as a shelter.
Off
So-
the top of your head, do you know the total weight?
I think it's 949 grams,
What's that in American units?
less than 2 pounds.
Okay. All right.
That's what it says on the tag, but I haven't weighed it. I
Understood.
need to weigh it.
We'll make that. We'll even video next week's episode and throw that up there. But
I got it in the mail. It was hot as shit. I went outside and I set it up. Didn't watch the video. Didn't read the instructions.
I'm shocked.
But it's very intuitive.
I know.
Most tents aren't complicated nowadays. And then
I would disagree, but some aren't.
yeah.
Some are. But anyway, go on.
But once the initial setup's done, because the interior tent just clips to the inside of the rainfly, once you set it up one time, then all you have to do is to pull your poles and attach your rainfly, and it erects your tent. So I think it's
pole erects things.
yeah, I think it's going to be pretty quick to set,
Okay.
hopefully, but we'll see. I still need to put my finger on an air pad.
All right. So episode 110 will be brought to you by
Durston, yeah.
Durston. All right. And we'll video it as well. Maybe we'll find we'll figure that one out. One quick question, because I don't want to go too far into next week's content. Does it have the poles that fold down into bicycle frame size?
Yeah, I got.
Okay.
So there was 2 different pole options. One of them's the ultralight, which is what I sprung for. I think it was like an extra $40 or something.
Okay.
And they're Easton carbon poles.
Okay.
And I think the poles are 12 inches, maybe 14.
The segments.
Yeah. But instead of the 2-foot long poles like most of them.
Gotcha.
So
All right. We will definitely talk about that next week.
I think it's going to be easy to stow and hopefully easy to deploy.
Okay.
But I when I was setting it up initially, I was like, man, this is going to suck doing this when I'm tired. And so that's when I was like, yeah, it's only hot right now. So we'll see.
It might be easier than a hammock. You never know. You never know once you get into the groove.
I did see a new hammock that I'm crazy interested in, but it's not a bikepacking or this guy says it's a backpacking tent, but it's 5 pounds something. But it's a hammock tent system. So it's a lay flat hammock. It's got pole structures in it. And the whole thing hangs and it's got a built-in structure on top. And I saw a video where they stacked over 2,000 pounds on it.
Okay.
But it's called a Haven Spectre. It's a very, very cool looking concept.
Yeah, I'm still at the point where for me, there's no appeal at the hammock level. But who knows? Maybe someday my mind will be swayed.
Why do you hate comfort?
I'm a side sleeper.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But you can do that in a lay flat hammock. Essentially, that's an elevated bed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a rectangle that doesn't banana.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like I said,
Everybody
maybe-
doesn't need to be converted to hammocks.
maybe someday I'll be persuaded. But not yet.
I'm not trying to persuade.
Our camping adventure was kind of thrown together last minute for this weekend because we're hoping, fingers crossed, we're hoping we're getting the dogs away from the fireworks. Fingers crossed.
There was fireworks here on Saturday night.
They've started the fireworks around our neighborhood already in the past couple nights.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on, people.
But why are dogs inherently scared of fireworks?
We've only got one that is.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. I guess we may have 2 now. We may have 2.
Scared of thunderstorms as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dixie's very, yeah.
Huh.
Gunshots are the worst of them all. Bailey doesn't give a rat's ass about any of it.
Yeah.
He's fine. It'll be interesting to see what Ellie's like
Yeah.
with them. But Dixie is just absolutely, she's terrified, and she's shaking and shivering and hiding for days on
The
end.
fear is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try Pat Mace Lake up above Paris and try some camping up there. It looks like from the pictures, it's some nice shaded wooded spots. Take the camper up there. And I will do some scouting for the Hell of the North Texas. 2 birds, 1 stone. Make sure that's all good to go. And
Oui, Paris.
take the Brompton,
Yeah.
since I'll be pulling the camper. And hopefully keep the heat acclimation training going through the weekend.
Any more rides on the Brompton?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
few.
And are you liking it more or liking it less?
I am liking it very much.
Yeah.
I am liking it very much. I took the front fender off last night.
For just because of the shakiness of it?
There's every once in a while there's a noise coming out of the front end that as it's happening, it's like, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
But that front fender is like super flimsy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's probably it. I'll find out on the next ride on it. And quite frankly, just from an aesthetic standpoint, it looks much better without that front fender.
Some people are fans of fenders.
I'm-
if you ride in all weather in a European area, yeah.
No,
Or Northwest.
I'm going to keep the rear fender on unless we start getting into issues where it does jam up rocks riding gravel roads or something like that. I'm going to leave the rear fender and the luggage rack on the back, but the front fender,
I don't think you can take that luggage rack off the back, can you? I guess you could, but
you can take it off, sure.
yeah, but
sure. It's an option.
fucks with the functionality of the whole.
It's actually an option in the Europe version of the Brompton G line. The fenders and the luggage rack it's an optional add-on. In the U.S. version, that's the only way they come. So I guess they just.
That seems vice versa.
My guess is just from a warehousing and logistics standpoint, they just send one version over. And if the market proves that that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
But
it seems like the European version, like that would be the standard, because I think they're more inclined to ride in inclement weather.
It's Brompton, so it's
logical.
Anything Brompton does is premium priced. So I think it's a $400 or $500 upgrade to add the fenders and rack. I think, if I remember right, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
what size tires are those again?
20 inch, 50 millimeters, I think.
Okay, I thought they were bigger than that. I thought they were like 2.3s or something.
I don't think. No, they're definitely not 2.3s. They may be 2.1s.
Okay.
I think they're 50 millimeter. I'll have to look.
I think a 50 is a 2.1, isn't it?
It's like a 1.9.
Oh, these fucking flies, dude. It's a bumper crop season for flies.
It is, and Jan and I were talking about last night. They seem smarter than ever this year, at least the ones around our house.
I don't know. I haven't talked to them.
Well, I mean, I can't, as far as trying to swat them and get rid of them and everything like that,
I think I'm going to get another assault gun. I had one at one point. The pump shotgun that shoots salt for killing flies.
Never seen it.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's like hunting big game.
Okay.
But when you're just killing a fly.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
So it's air powered. Like it's like a air rifle type sort of thing.
Yeah, and it uses iodized salt.
Okay.
Which is the only reason I would buy like regular table salt.
Understood.
But pretty cool. I had one for years. I had 2 actually. Eventually they gave up the ghost. I mean, salt's an abrasive, and I'm sure it just breaks down the interior of it.
Good chance of it.
But
I mean, how big is the salt pellet or whatever it is that you shoot?
No, it shoots salt, like regular table salt.
Okay.
You put it in a hopper, and I can't remember now, you pump it, and then you push the little thing forward, and it drops just enough salt in there. And then when you pull the trigger, it fires this salt. The salt is the projectile.
So it's like salt mini buckshot.
Yeah.
Is the concept.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, doesn't that like spread? What is the range on this thing? I mean, I would think after a foot, it's spread out.
Oh, yeah. You want to be like within a foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no fun.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I promise you, it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, then you need to order one of those.
Yeah.
And we'll have episodes.
We can.
Yeah. We can actually order 2.
Okay.
Does it hurt? Would it hurt if I shot you from here with it?
Oh, it hurts.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this there's a lot of fun potential here.
I mean, I had to shoot myself with mine when I first got it, just to see how bad it was.
Of course you did.
Yeah. I mean, I got to know what I'm doing. I know what I'm working with.
I've got a flashlight with a taser on it, and I haven't done it yet. I haven't.
Oh, it's inevitable.
Well, I don't know. I've had it 10 years, and I haven't done it yet. So. But I can bring it next week if you want to prove me wrong.
No, I've been that route before. I've done the shot collar, and I've been tased, but with it wasn't like a super badass taser. It still was enough. And then I pissed on an electric fence before. Too.
I did that.
Worst of all of them.
That was not good.
That was unintentional. Obviously.
Oh, on my part, I was young, somewhere under 8.
Oh, I think I was like 13 or 14.
And my uncle, he's basically it's my mom's brother, but
that's how uncles work.
He was just a couple of years older than me. So he was more like a cousin than an uncle sort of thing. He thought it would be funny to have me piss on the electric. It was funny for him.
That falls into the category of never doing that again.
There's no doubt.
One time is more than enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important lesson because it makes you very aware of where electric fences are. I still take notice of electric fences every time I'm near one.
And you bring up a good point. Gravel lesson 1. I have to bring this up on the regular when I'm out and about on these events or doing group. I keep forgetting these city folk don't know about electric fences and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's been more than one time that I've had to yell at somebody, don't piss there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, let them do it. Like I said, they'll only do it one time. I promise you. It is a one and done thing. So what bike did you bring today? Back to bikes.
I brought the State 4130.
Okay.
Steel gravel bike.
All right. Well, I'm going to ride my Chumba.
Okay. That's good. That's good. You could probably ride your fat bike and keep up with me.
I don't have a fat bike anymore.
Oh, you don't have one anymore?
No. I have a big hit bike, but
you could do that.
It's got flat tires. That poor thing's so neglected. It's just been hanging on my wall for like 2 years. That makes me sad.
Yeah. And we've had that discussion before.
Yeah.
And that's where I was with a fat bike. It's like there was a point I kind of wanted a fat bike, but the reality is there might be 2 or 3 times a year I would buy it.
I miss my fat bike. I legitimately miss it.
I get it, but
fat bikes are one of those things just like a single speed. Single speed's not the best comparison, but if everybody on your ride's not on a single speed, it's not the same ride. If everybody on your ride's not on a fat bike, it's not that great of a ride either.
I follow where you're coming from, but I'm the ultimate solo rider, so
that's where I was going to. Is it's okay if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
But the thing I loved about the fat bike is you're getting a great workout, but you're not covering a lot of ground, so there's more time to look around. Especially when we were doing a lot of the shoreline stuff when we were in that major drought year. So we were riding shoreline, so we were seeing a bunch of stuff that most people never get to see. And with the fat bike, you can just crawl over everything. And I mean, it doesn't have to be a trail, doesn't have to be hard packed, but it's work. But you're just having a blast and you're going
And I
5 or 6 miles an hour.
I get that aspect of it completely. That
Yeah.
was why I did toss around the idea of a fat bike at one point. Here's the realization I've kind of come up with, and I'm gonna, I see people, read about people, hear about people that poo tubeless on a regular basis because their main thing is, it's so much maintenance. It's like it's only maintenance in two conditions. You want to change tires, switch out tires on. Okay, tubeless can be a pain in the ass if you're changing your tires every week, sort of thing. Or two, you're not riding your bike enough.
That's what I was going to say. That sounds like somebody that doesn't ride very much.
And that's my key takeaway from it. The people that complain about tubeless being too much maintenance or making a mess or tires are always flat, you're not riding your bike enough.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, that said, it could mean, like, I have bikes that the tires are going flat.
Yeah.
Because those bikes don't get ridden enough themselves.
Yep. There you go.
And I personally use that as a good indicator of maybe I don't need that bike no more.
Yeah.
So, it's not a final. It's a first level of awareness sort of thing. And that's kind of where that's part of why I'm on the state right now.
It's interesting to me, like when I think about all the various bikes that I have in my garage, like they're all fun. It's just fun in a different way. Like my big
very
hit,
much so.
My big hit, my 160, 150 bike is fun when it's in its rightful environment. But around here, it's overkill. It's not fun for me here. But like Park City, a lot of fun. Colorado, a lot of fun. Arkansas, a lot of fun. Around here, it's not that much fun. My fat bike was a lot of fun, but like riding a fat bike at North Shore, not that much fun, But it's a completely different fun.
I get it completely.
Because as we were talking, I was just thinking, well, maybe I could just sell my big hit bike and get a fat bike. But you're trading one fun for another fun, and they're both going to get used about as little as they do.
Yeah, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying you're doing it the wrong way. In Kevin world, that's a rental bike.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And if I have to spend $400 to rent it for a couple of days? Well, maybe I do, but okay.
Yeah.
That way I'm not spending $4,000 on something collecting dust, I mean, make no mistake, I've got a garage full of bikes.
Yeah. How many bikes does Kevin own? Do you even know?
No.
Is it 7+?
I think that's fair. Fair guess.
I was just curious.
No, maybe we'll break it down another.
I wonder how many bikes our average listener has. I wonder how many bikes like most of our friends have. I mean, do you know anybody that you consider a cyclist that has one bike?
Off the top of my head, no.
It's an inherent thing with cyclists, right?
I mean, I say that mostly because I'm not in the mountain bike scene anymore.
Yeah.
And I know there's lots of local DFW mountain bikers that whatever they ride,
that's their bike.
That's their bike. That's their only bike.
You know what? Comment or
ShiftLessLive@gmail.com. Or comment. Well, if you comment,
we kind of don't see it. That's right.
We usually don't see it.
But email us if you're a listener and you only have, let's call it 2 bikes.
No, just tell us how many bikes you have.
Oh yeah, I like that even better.
Just tell us how many bikes you have, because we're grasping at straws here. Our echo chamber that we operate in, I think it's fair to say, is 3+.
I think so too. Can we send somebody a hat or something if they have the most bike?
No, because then people are going to bullshit us.
Oh, well.
But if you prove it by buying a new bike from Mad Duck or Velo Republic to take you over the top, we will give you a hat. How about that?
Get a free bowl of soup.
Did Caleb ever send Eric his soup? Do we know? Never mind.
Oh, I don't know.
We're not going to go there.
I don't know. That would be awesome, though.
How many bikes does Brad have?
That's a good question.
You're kind of like me. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think 7.
Okay.
I think.
And how many of those do you ride on a regular basis?
4.
Okay.
Yeah. One of them's my single speed, my Soulcraft. It's retired, just hanging on the wall, but it's still complete. That was my goal and I don't know why. It's such a silly thing. Like I should part it out and disassemble it and just hang the frame on the wall, but I don't know. I feel like that girl served me so well for so many years.
That makes sense.
She deserves to hang around for at least a little bit. And then I have a 1962 Schwinn Voyager that I got from Mr. Solo, Mike Ryer, that is my fixie single speed road bike, thingamabobber, alt bike, if you will. No bottle bosses or anything. And that's the bike that I did hotter than hell, the one and only time I've ever done it. And then so that's 2. Then I have my current single speed, my Karate Monkey. Then I have my Willits, which is my gravel bike. It's a steel, what do they call it? Monster Cross.
Okay.
Then I have my Salsa Blackthorn, which is my big hit bike.
That's your big hit bike?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have my Chumba Stella. And then I have my Pride and Joy, my Fargo.
Okay.
That's 7.
Okay.
I think that's all my bikes.
Now you're going to make me walk through it. All right. Well, let's
I think that's all my bikes.
And you're riding the Chumba today? Is that your plan? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the State All-Road, which is what I'm riding today. Obviously, have the Brompton, have the Tributary, have my low buck aluminum flat bar gravel bike, the A1 Roll.
I don't even know what kind of bike that is. What kind of bike is that?
It was an off-brand. It was my first attempt to try to find an Everyman low buck bike, kind of like what I did with the State bike, to buy it and try it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the bike. I'll bring it next week.
Yeah,
I think you've seen it. Maybe not.
I probably have.
Anyway, it doesn't get ridden. It's sitting around with flat tires right here. Now I've lost track. Where was I? 5?
4.
4?
So you have the piece. Do you still have the piece?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Well, let's take it to 5.
Yeah.
I have the Piece Niner. It is at the moment in the storage shed because it hasn't been ridden in forever. And also in the storage shed, I have the Loft True Grit single speed, which I need to lose a bunch of weight before I ride that one properly. I have the El Jefe titanium rigid geared mountain bike. That takes me to 7. I have my steel framed mountain bike that the brand will not be named, made in the USA. So that's 8. I feel like I'm skipping something.
Don't you have an All City? No.
Nope. I've never had an All City. And then we get into the realm of.
You have another Brompton too, don't you?
No.
Okay, that one went back.
That was a demo.
Okay.
That was a demo unit. This one I have now is mine.
Okay.
Then we get into the realm of Jan's bikes that I also ride.
Yeah.
So there's a Surly.
Sorry, I'm looking at. There's a Hawk.
Gotcha.
And just bird dog.
There's a Surly Straggler. Then there's her Salsa Confluence. And I guess then to top it all off, I do have my Stages SB20 indoor smart bike, technically speaking.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like I'm missing one. There's her Pink Surly, which I've ridden on time, but it's really her bike, her 1x1. Yeah, so I guess I'm at 8.
Yeah. Call it a technical 8.
Proper 8 and with a technical plus on it.
Yeah.
Because I do like that Salsa Confluence gets ridden on the regular, and that Straggler used to get ridden on the regular.
What was the bike that had the Cantu wheels on it? The Terlingua. Wasn't it a Terlingua?
That is my steel gravel bike.
The unnameable. Sorry. I didn't mean to backdoor that.
Obviously you did.
No, I didn't. So that being said, do you currently have an N+1, or did the Brompton?
The Brompton was pretty damn close to it. My big N+1 at the moment, and quite frankly, it's what this heat acclimation. This is the core of what I am using to get my shit together and go that next level as far as riding capability and actually really for real dropping weight finally. And because I got to drop 50 pounds, hopefully for my knees to just be tolerable again.
You're not doing anything silly, are you? No Ozempic or any
No,
of that bullshit.
no.
Okay.
No, let's give it some time, see what happens. But
Yeah.
I've got to ride the bike on the regular. And in order to ride the bike on the regular, because it's fucking Texas in the summer, I got to get heat acclimated. So that's kind of step one. Obviously, diet adjustments, a big part of the overall package of it.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, my goal is just to be single speeding all the time. I just want to be a single speeder, quite frank. I want to ride gravel single speed. I want to ride mountain bike single speed. I want to ride road single speed.
Gravel single speed's not that much fun.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It's a different animal.
I'm a solo rider most of the time.
Yeah.
And I just love the simplicity of not worrying about changing gears. I really do.
It really is that was my major allure to single speeding. The first time I threw a leg over a single speed, it instantly transported me back to my childhood. Because when I was a kid, we used to go out the gate in my backyard, and it was just a forest. And there was a hiking trail from hunters and all this stuff, and we just rode. And if you weren't sitting down riding, you were standing up riding. And if you weren't standing up riding, you were walking.
Yep.
And the first time I got on a single speed, it was like I had totally forgotten about that aspect of my riding, as a child. And it was instantly like, wow, back to childhood.
And make no mistake, I enjoy drooling over bike technology and new bits and baubles and parts like anybody else. But as far as actually riding that stuff, I don't have to have the latest and the greatest and the neatest. I want something that's dependable, functional. If it looks sexy, that's even better.
I like a sexy bike.
But that's what I'm saying.
But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, too.
No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, I think my Fargo's sexy as shit.
I think taking that El Jefe single speed, it's geared now because that's what I have to have a geared bike at the moment.
Yeah.
But once it's single speed, I'm going to be happiest with it. At rigid and single speed, I'm happy with that bike.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But I have to get to where I can take advantage of that. And I was realizing, the Tributary, the electric bikes were fantastic for getting me back on the bike and getting my head in the right place.
Keeping the legs moving.
But helping me say, yes, I still want to do 4, 5, 6 hour rides. And I like the flexibility of the e-bike platform of going out with you guys for a long ride.
Yeah.
I like to do that from time to time, but for me on my traditional bikes or me doing a traditional Kevin ride, I just want to do my thing most of the time.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So riding the single speed is something I miss. Standing around in the kitchen cooking for hours on end is something I miss. I can't do that on my knees right now. I can't walk my dogs right now. But the e-bike,
I did enough standing around the kitchen cooking this past weekend for both of us.
I'm going to ask you about that in a bit here. So I have to shift my focus to finding out the best way to drop serious poundage, and with fingers crossed that I know it's going to make a difference. It's just a matter of how much difference does that make on my knees at that point, and that's what I got to find out.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a process. But I'm going to use the bicycle appropriately to help me get there. Is the plan.
I too am in the process of losing weight. I had busted over 200 pounds, which is heavy for me.
I don't know that I think I've only seen you over 200 once before, right?
Yeah, and that was when I was dealing with all my elbow issues.
Yeah.
I was being an asshole, and I wasn't doing anything. I was just drinking and eating, just being.
Yeah.
And I was also, in retrospect, I was depressed. I didn't acknowledge it at the time, but
Well, because when you're in the middle of it, you can't.
yeah.
Well, you can, but you need help usually.
But I'm finally down into the 180s, which is good. But before Race Across Texas, I like to be in the 170s. So,
And I mean, are you doing anything specific to help make that happen, or is it just a general be cognizant of it?
just eating better, eating less, and doing more. Just a calories in versus calories out kind of thing. But I do fast in the morning. I normally don't eat until, I don't know, 1 or 2. I say that. I have a morning routine drink that I normally drink almost every day. I switched it up from last year. I was doing baking soda, which I'm still doing baking soda.
You are doing the baking soda?
Yeah. So my morning drink right now consists of chia seeds, lemon juice from half a lemon, baking soda, sea salt, maple syrup, and beet powder.
How much maple syrup?
Just like half a tablespoon.
Okay.
It's not a lot.
Okay, so there's no calories in this drink then.
There's maple syrup. There's calories in the maple syrup.
But half a
Yeah.
half a teaspoon. You're
it's
talking
insignificant.
20 calories
yeah.
maybe.
And then if I'm feeling peckish, and I'll have a Fairlife, which is like 150 calories.
What is a Fairlife?
It's like a protein drink.
Okay, all right. But you're saying you fast until 1 or 2. What about if you? But do you do your heat rides after you break your fast, or do you do your heat rides prior to your fast?
No, and that's the thing is, if I go for a ride, I'm tailwinding my bottles.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So is
Yeah.
that prior to breaking your fast, or is that? I don't know when you do your heat ride.
No, that's typically I'll do that, and then I'll come back home, and then I'll eat. So sometimes I might not eat.
Okay,
till
so
2 or 3 o'clock.
technically you're breaking your fast during the ride.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, that's what I was trying to determine.
And the other thing I've started to do, even last night, that it's one of those like game changer moves that I had never even thought of doing before, but I've started drinking a full bottle with Tailwind before I ride.
Mm-hmm.
Just to front load calories and front load hydration. I mean, I walk around pretty hydrated, but drinking a bottle before you get on the bike is, I mean, it's like a no-brainer. So I think it makes a big difference, especially in the heat.
Understood.
So, and it just kind of primes the pump for calorie absorption and everything else too. And I just, my body deals better with liquid calories anyways than solid food, but we'll see how all that works out.
Understood. I'm not trying to. Everybody's different.
Yep. Back to bikes.
Yes, sir.
Now is, you're saying you like technology and you like shiny parts and all that. And I think most cyclists do. Trying to think of any weirdos I know that are like, suspension? No. But have you been watching any of the bike show?
Eurobike?
Eurobike?
A bit here and there.
I've seen the DJI motor in a lot more bikes now.
Well, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
We knew that was coming. No, I haven't dove deep into it
Yeah.
yet.
I haven't consumed a lot of it, but I've watched a couple. I've watched the Global Cycling Network, a couple of theirs. And then I watched the mountain bike network or whatever.
I definitely haven't seen that.
They were I'm obviously only highlighting electronic mountain bikes or electric or whatever, the e-bikes. There's a lot of cool stuff out there, but I said all that to say that I'm at a spot where right now I have no desire for another bike. Like, I just want to ride the bikes I have.
Right.
I want my bikes to be worthy of me, or I want to be worthy of my bikes.
I want to be worthy of my bikes.
Yeah.
And that's where and we talked about it a while back on, when I was trying out that demo Brompton, I saw in my use cases where that was a viable N+1 in my world.
Mm-hmm.
And this weekend's a good example of it. We're going camping and I need to ride my bike.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic bike to have for that. And it's going to help with the scouting too, because now I can drive the truck and scout the roads, but I can hop on the Brompton and scout the net, So it's a good combination. But I realized that it's not for me to say anyone else shouldn't be riding a Brompton.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate.
Yeah.
But in my world, that's an appropriate N+1.
Yeah.
And that's where we're sitting there talking about my bike inventory.
But you didn't start riding yesterday, too. I mean, that's the thing. I think cyclists just tend to accumulate bikes.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And I mean, I'm a different ball of wax in that, like.
Shit. You can just end the podcast right there.
Like the reason I have this state all-road bike and the reason I had that aluminum flat bar gravel bike, those weren't for me per se. Those were for me. I'm not going to recommend or suggest this to somebody that's trying to get into gravel without having some firsthand experience with it, was kind of the logic behind that. So I like both of those bikes. If I didn't have the not to be named steel gravel bike, I would ride those bikes a lot more. But the not to be named steel gravel bike, I like better.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's a better bike, but for the price difference, it should be a better bike.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
That state bike's pretty legit though.
It's a nice bike.
Yeah. Have you converted that to tubeless? It is.
That's the only thing. I think.
Did it come set up tubeless?
It's tubeless ready. It was tubeless ready as well.
But it has been converted to tubeless.
Yes.
Okay.
It came tubed. I don't think anybody ships a bike tubed.
No. I don't think so either. I mean, I don't know. I haven't assembled a bike in forever.
Understood. I think everybody, even tubeless bikes, are shipped with tubes, generally speaking. And I'm pretty sure the wheels were tubeless ready on it. I know the tires were tubeless ready on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that was an easy tubeless conversion too.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I've done to it.
Now, did you personally do that?
No.
Or you took it to the dock?
Man, I had Nico do it.
Yeah, I figured Nico did it.
Man.
That's the thing too, is there's a strong diversion in the cyclist world too, of people that work on their bikes, like people that work on their bikes, and there's people that take it to the shop for like everything.
I have no interest in working on my bike.
Yeah, I know, and it's there's no right way and there's no wrong way. It's just funny because I have quite a few friends that like don't even change the cog on their single speed. They take it to the shop,
I don't even do that. I just run what you brung.
Yeah. But
I'm walking this one, guys.
But don't change tires, they take it to the shop. And then I have other friends that like build wheels,
But see, part of that though is it's also that's part of my social aspect of it too.
Yeah.
I like to go to the shop and socialize with those guys.
Oh, I still go to the shop and dick around. I love the shop atmosphere.
I do too, but I'm not the type just typically to just, hey, now I have a reason to go to the shop. I don't just swing by the shop.
You don't need a reason to go to the shop, buddy.
I do, because I got so many other things that
I know you're a busy guy. Busy guy.
So many other things.
But you can go by there to pick up nutrition or buy a new water bottle or get a tool to work on your bike.
Well, those are viable reasons to go by the shop. And I do those as well.
But the other thing is
not nutrition.
If you just go to the shop, then you're like, oh shit, I forgot I need some CO2s. It's just that kind of stuff.
Here you go telling me how to live my life again.
I'm not trying to tell you.
Do I tell you how to live your life?
I don't even know how to live my own life. I'm in no position to tell somebody else how to live their life.
That said, I've been trying to find a way to go by the duck for a couple weeks now because I got to show off the puppy to them. But
yeah,
we'll get there. Where were we? Oh,
we're here. We're here. We haven't even talked about the weather. It's stagnant as shit.
I would love a breeze right about now.
So stagnant.
I would love a breeze right about now.
And thick. I don't know
we're going to get our heat training in today, Bradford.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I may try for 90 minutes myself. We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Well, I have an appointment to go with my kid at 1:30. He needs some backup on something.
Okay. I'm telling you what to do.
It is 86 degrees, feels like 92, 61% humidity with a 71, how do you say that? 71 degree dew point.
Okay. It's not miserable at the moment,
It's
but
not
a breeze would be much more comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Give it a couple hours, it's going to be pretty close to miserable.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm sorry, you got to be there at 1:30, or you're leaving for there at 1:30. What?
I got to leave here about 1:15 or so.
You got to leave here at 1:15.
Yeah.
So you got to be done 12:45.
Oh, 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had to clean up and shower and stuff. I didn't know what you were
Got a
doing.
swimming pool.
I don't know what your appointment is, so I don't. All right.
We're just going to, he just wants me to go with him.
I'm not digging. I'm not. All right. So we need to be back here by 1. That's all I'm getting at. Or
Yeah.
you need to be back here at 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going with him to he got a ticket for his registration sticker being out. At one point, all 4 vehicles in our driveway, the registration
You said they
sticker
don't
was
give
out.
tickets for that. You told me that.
He got pulled over for it.
And they're going to,
They'll waive it if he gets one within 30 days.
I understand, but he got pulled over and it's like, well, I got you. So now we're going to do this too. So
No, actually, him and my other son both got pulled over exclusively for their registration.
for the,
being out.
okay.
So I think it's one of those deals.
It's a hot topic again.
I guess so. I guess it's become a thing again. But they just ran their license plate, and obviously it's connected to your license plate. Hey, their registration's out, so they pulled them over. And I think it's just because they're young kids,
Sure.
and they're trying to find something else. But then they're like, "Well, we got you on this." I think that is the way it goes. But
Could be.
anyways, we're going to get his emissions done, and then
Or maybe your whole family's on their radar now.
I got nothing to hide.
Understood.
Nothing to hide.
Understood. Well, except your registrations.
No, mine's current.
Oh, you're up now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I not tell you that? I before I went to Terlingua, I was like, man, I'm not going to drive 9 hours with my registration out. So I went to get my registration. Well, I was going to get my registration, but I was like, well, I guess I need to get my truck inspected. So I went to Christian Brothers up the road. They, I walked in, gave them all my information. She was like, I don't see that truck in the system, and went through all of that, and then I think I had Leonard with me, and I walked out, and she goes, it'll be 15 minutes or whatever, and she comes back. She comes and gets me, and she goes, hey, actually, we don't know why you're here. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, we don't do emissions on diesels. We haven't done that in years. And I go, yeah, I know that. And she goes, and starting in January, we don't do
Safety inspections
anymore. So, yeah, you don't need anything from us. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went there for nothing, and then I went and got my registration.
Oh, so they don't do emissions on diesels anymore?
They haven't done that in, I don't know how long.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just assumed diesels were part of the emissions thing. Okay. Bad me. I assume that's why you hadn't done your registration in forever, is because of the diesel. And
No, just lazy shit.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they got rid of the safety inspections, but technically gasoline's still doing emissions here.
Yeah, you still have to do, in Denton County, you still have to have emissions. In Wise County, you do not. So
Understood.
it's county to county.
Right. Well, it's the bigger metro areas.
Yeah.
You get out in the sticks.
Yeah.
and-
So I'm going to do that with him.
Okay.
And
Well, that should be fun.
just going to kick it.
That should be a barrel of monkeys type of fun.
I think it's important to help your children navigate democracy and all the crazy stuff that you have to go through.
It's welcome to adulting.
Yep.
Welcome to adulting. I'm pretty tired of it myself. I'm trying to find every way possible to minimize the adulting aspects of my life.
It's so crazy. We wanted to grow up so bad.
I really never did, outside of a few little things.
Yeah, like touching boobs and stuff.
Hey, I still haven't outgrown that one either.
It's so crazy, though. Like, when I was a kid, I never wanted to take a nap. And now I'd kill for a nap.
Naps are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Naps are pretty awesome.
Had a busy weekend. Did not ride Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
And you tried to make up the difference since then. Okay, but anyway. All right. So you had a private
Had a private dinner
fam dinner away from Fam Central.
What's funny,
Friday.
What's funny is it's on my normal route. It's on the Jeter box.
Okay.
The house that we went to. So I was like, I know right where this house is. It was pretty funny. Great time. We did a pasta making class in the middle of dinner.
Okay.
So that's how we actually started. I put out a small charcuterie board, and we gathered the family around, and we made pasta. I made the dough. And then after the first 2 courses, we rolled out the pasta right before the pasta course. Then I cooked pasta and served pasta. And they were over the top, just happy with everything.
Okay. So what did the pasta dish end up being for that?
I did a Meyer lemon cacio de pepe. I used the zest and the juice mixed with Parmigiano Reggiano, fresh ground black pepper. And I cheated. I put a couple of egg yolks in that mixture as well. And then I used the lemon, I don't know what you call what's left over after the juice and the zest is gone, but the rind and the cells.
The rind liner.
Yeah. I used that. I put it in the water that I boiled the pasta in just to put even more lemon.
Yep.
And then it's a preem. And then used a little bit of the pasta water in the pan, put the pasta in, put my egg and cheese mixture.
I forget that step on the regular. It makes a big difference, though.
So good. So good. And then we did the miso sea bass forbidden rice. And then I did a really simple charred asparagus to go with that. They were over the top happy.
Good.
But it made for a long night. We got home at 10:30.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those things where people want to glad hand you, and that was so good. And then they would corner you and talk to you, and how did you do this and all
You're
this.
a celebrity at that point.
And then all I'm thinking is, I've got 800 things to do in the house. So I got home and had to put on sourdough loaves for the next day. And
Hey, you made your bed.
oh, I know. When we set ourselves up for success for Saturday, we had a full house on Saturday, 22 people, and that could not have went any better. It was amazing. Every course was well talked about, well received. I had a great time. And then Sunday, I was going to ride. I was going to do a ramble, which we always do, but nobody really chimed in. And then Adam was talking me into doing another ride. And then I ended up drinking way too much whiskey on Saturday night. And so I did not. I woke up at 7, ambitious to ride, and immediately went, I'm not going to do that. So I went back to sleep, and Paula and I ended up hanging out all day and had an amazing Sunday.
Nice.
We went to brunch with some friends at Shoal Creek in Highland Village, and they were doing I don't even understand the math behind this. It was $30 a person, and it was only for the month of June, so I hate that I'm telling you this in July. But it was $30 a person. You start with an old-fashioned. There's 3 courses of food. The first one's pork belly. I think it was mashed potatoes underneath. But there's 3 pieces of pork belly. Then they bring you a flight of Buffalo Trace whiskey. So it's Buffalo Trace, Sazerac rye, and Eagle Rare. Then they bring you the main course, quotes, air quotes, 2 Kobe sliders on pretzel buns with fig jam, caramelized onions, and I think it was Gruyere cheese. Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. Burgers were cooked perfect. It was crazy. And then a dessert course. So they had these donut balls that came in this little dish, and there was 3 of them. And there was all the sweet. There was too much sweet for me, but there was also bacon in there, and there was a pool of maple syrup on the bottom. It was way too sweet. I couldn't eat it all, but $30 for all of that. I was like, how are they even making money? But alas, this is how they were making money.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. Because as soon as we sat down and we started telling the guy what we were going to do, he's like, oh, you may want to go ahead and start thinking about what you're going to want with your last course, because your flights will be gone and and you'll probably want another sip of whiskey. And he goes, we're offering a flight of Blanton's and at $55. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do all that. But the seed had been planted.
Sure.
So it got to the end, and they were about to bring the dessert. And he goes, can I get you guys anything else to drink? And I go, you know what? Let's try when is the next time I'm going to have a chance to try single barrel, Blanton's Gold, and Blanton straight from the barrel in one sitting? So we did that. It was amazing. Had a great time. And then we came back and got in the pool, and then we were treated to a glorious sunset that evening.
I like
that. It was
that.
good stuff.
I like that model.
Yeah.
I like that model.
It was good stuff.
Concept.
It was good stuff. It was my mom's birthday, so we FaceTimed her. Good times.
Is that a fly or what is that?
I don't know what that is, but it's got a carcass. It had another body it was carrying around.
That was weird.
Yeah. So it was a glorious Sunday.
That sounds like you had a grand weekend.
It was nice and restful. And then Monday I decided to torture myself, and I waited till 1 o'clock and rode 55 miles in the heat, into the wind.
How many hours did that take you?
4.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It was like a 13.5 mile an hour average.
Okay.
But my only goal was to finish the route that I set out to do and just to keep moving. But I did stop twice for cold stuff, which that's the other thing that I got to get back to is I remember last summer when I was riding every day, I made it a point to never drink cold beverages. I was drinking room temperature everything. And I've kind of got tricked myself back into drinking cold stuff just because it's so refreshing, but I don't think it does you any favors. I'm not a science guy, but
so per the science guys, like I said, I've been really digging deep into this well. For the heat acclimation training rides themselves, which 90 minutes or less is probably 60 to 90 minutes is really what those should be, the actual acclimation rides. No, you don't want to do the cold drinks. But if you are actually doing a true endurance effort in the heat, you do need those cold beverages then. You need to bring that core temperature down.
I get that from the core temperature aspect, but it's also you're lying to yourself.
But you're not. And that's what I'm getting at is when the downside to heat acclimation training, doing the air quotes thing, is, like I said, so basically it's like always being on the red line on attack. If you go a little bit over, you blow up the engine. Yeah, is basically what it boils down to. So there is minimal margin for error. And if you go too far over the top on your heat training, you negate almost everything you've done.
You basically reset.
It's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back sort of thing.
Just make no mistake. I did both stops I made. I filled up a bottle with ice and got a cold drink at the second stop. Yeah,
something just happened.
Slight breeze. But the second stop, I had a Dr. Pepper, and I bought 2 electrolyte drinks and a bottle of water and filled up all my bottles with ice.
And for a 4-hour ride in 100-degree heat index, 100-degree plus, if I remember correctly, on Monday. Monday was hot.
It was hot.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You can't train yourself to not need that stuff. It's counterproductive trying to not do that once you start going into that over 2-hour thing.
Yeah.
Is ultimately what it boils down to. Particularly at that heat.
Yeah.
And I say that in Kevin land, that's all theoretical right now. I am trying to find out, because there is, again, like I said before, between the heat acclimation and the heart rate, cardio drift training, and nutrition, there are all these gray boxes that so many people are adamant, this is the way to do it, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Trying to find where all those pieces overlap. And
That was Kevin.
yeah, that was me. Where the echo chamber is negated by the confirmation from the different sources. That's what I'm trying to find. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
everybody agrees on this.
Yeah, but still your mileage may vary.
And no, that's the point. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
And again, everybody is different. So it's real easy for me to say, oh, hey, this is what works for you because it's what worked for me.
Yeah.
What works for me is not necessarily going to be what works for you.
Yeah.
But you can say this is what works for most people.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. That's where it does get realistic. And the main thing I'm going to be focusing on is narrowing down the nutrition aspect of it, because my body's such a mess of everything I've put it through over the years. And I need to find the way that makes sense on a basic nutrition and the macro levels.
Taco casa is not the answer.
Once a week, taco casa is okay.
Once a week?
I haven't been doing it, but
Yeah.
if I do everything else right, if I do a splurge on taco casa once a week, it's all right.
I haven't been. I've told Paula the other day, I said, I need me some taco casa in my life. The other thing I've been craving is Korean fried chicken.
Well, you're supposed to take me to that because I still don't know what that is, but
It's so good. So good. It's got to have MSG in it. But
no, yeah, there we go down the MSG path again.
yeah,
How up to speed are you on things like macronutrients and things like that, or are you just
not at all.
I say, or you just it's Whole Foods makes sense sort
Yeah.
of thing, generally speaking,
I mean, like I said, I fuel primarily with Tailwind.
which is no macros except for
Yeah.
fructose, right?
It's dextrose and fructose. But I mean, I get 200 calories a bottle, and I kind of adjust it. I usually in the summer,
Which is technically 50 grams of carbs, right?
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in heat like this, how many bottles an hour are you doing?
At least one. Yeah.
Well, it better be at least one.
Yeah. Like when I do my hour ride, which is my normal everyday ride, I'll carry 2 bottles, but I usually only drink one. But I'm also,
Well, then but you're Tailwind's electrolytes too, so
Yeah.
you're getting your sodium macros.
yeah. It's strange. But I'm typically drinking a bottle leading up to the ride as well.
Okay.
And then when I get done, once I cool off, I'll have whatever I'm going to eat. I don't know. I try to eat better, try to eat healthy. It doesn't always work out.
Doesn't always
you know.
work out, particularly when you go do sliders on a Sunday with a couple flights of booze.
That was fun. That was no regrets. Not a single regret
And
to
that's
be
what,
had.
and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's what it's. What's the point of living if you're not living?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And it was fun just being with my bride and us having a nice, relaxing Sunday after just getting our ass kicked.
So when's your next fam dinner?
The 19th of July.
19th of July.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a busy month.
And that's the makeup date, or is that something else?
It's not a makeup date.
Or the rearranged date?
Yeah, I pinpointed a date for 4 people to move from this past dinner. They wanted to come in July. And so I said, well, what weekend works for you? And if I have that open, then I'll...
And this was the Monday thing, or this was...
No.
Did you ever reschedule the Monday one?
No.
Is what I'm getting.
Still haven't heard from them.
Oh, okay.
And I still have their money, so
No, I'm sure you had
take your time.
You had said that they were going to do a weekend in July, so I was just clarifying if that's
Yeah.
what they ever did. No, understood.
So,
That's fine.
but I got to get ready for
Well,
hut to hut.
I can't do the 19th.
Yeah, I think I only have 2 or 4 spots left on the 19th.
Okay. Do you have any dates after that, or
I hadn't
too
even
far
thought
out to
about
think?
it.
That's fine. I'm just checking.
August is going to be a mess. I'm gone for better part of 10 days plus for hut to hut. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You should be.
I'm
You should be.
so excited.
So what do you need between now and then to make yourself happy on the Chumba for that trip?
I need to change my tires on my Chumba. I want to.
What is it about these tires that aren't to your liking?
They're just not beefy enough for Colorado, I don't believe. I'm going to go back to Mezcal's 2.6 up front, 235 out back.
Okay.
It's my kind of standard.
Gives you peace of mind.
Yeah, it does.
That's important.
I've got tires hanging in my garage right now. That's just a matter of doing it. But I also want to. I have the same. I'm going to contradict myself, but I have the same bar on my single speed as I do on my Chumba, except for the one on my single speed, I think, is wider and it's carbon.
There's nothing the same about it.
Right. But it's the same bar. It's a whiskey, whatever it is.
Aren't all whiskey parts carbon?
No.
They're not? Oh, I thought everything whiskey was carbon.
And I ordered, or I bought the aluminum one off of Gabe just because it was cheap and it was in the shop. And I liked it, so I ordered the carbon one for my Karate Monkey.
Okay.
And I really want the carbon bar for the hut to hut, just for the chatter and the constant hammering, just for a comfort perspective.
But you're going to have a 2.6 tire.
Yeah, that's true.
Understood. Not for me to say.
And then I've got to replace my saddle because I've got that cambium, however you say it, saddle on there, and it's got a crack on the side of it.
Yeah.
And it hasn't failed me yet, but I don't want to take something that's on the brink of failure.
And you want to be familiar with it before you get there, too.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do for that?
Well, I need to go see my buddy up at the top of the hill, Mr. Ryan Redmond. He's got I believe, a MTB Volt takeoff of one of his bikes that I'm going to snag, that's the saddle that I have on my Fargo that's so just destroyed.
What saddle do you have on the Karate Monkey?
I think it's a Volt as well.
Okay.
WTB. I think I'm saying that right. It's either a Volt. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But either way, I need to get a new saddle.
Even the Volts themselves, there's so many variations of.
So I'm a tie rail guy. I do buy tie rail saddles.
Okay. So that narrows down the variations on. I didn't even realize they made a tie rail Volt.
Yeah, I'm a 142 width tie rail. That's my. If I have my druthers, that's what I'm getting.
Understood.
So.
Tie as fly.
Yeah. So that needs to happen. That's kind of where I am on that. And then I need to figure out. I came to the realization. Excuse me. I came to the realization last night. I hadn't really thought about it because I always ride with water bottles. And I realized last night I probably need to carry a bladder, like a backpack, wing nut or whatever. So I'm going to probably run my U-Sway. Because drinking out of bottles and carrying enough water for hut to hut is probably not viable. I may carry like a bottle and then I've just got to figure out what I need to start finalizing or even contemplating what I'm going to bring, what all I'm going to bring and how I'm going to carry it and that kind of stuff. Because I don't want to do a handlebar bag. I'm probably going to do just a saddle bag.
Just a saddle bag.
And I've got a half frame on there right now.
Okay.
So that's where I am.
And what would you carry in the saddle bag for hut to hut?
Clothes.
Just clothes.
Clothes. I do have a half frame on there, which that half frame doesn't have near as much capacity as the one that is on my Fargo. But still, I can put like a rain layer in there and food. And then I have a gas tank on there as well. And the saddlebag will probably be like base layer and then whatever clothes that I need for hanging out.
You have a U-Sway or you have to get one?
I have a U-Sway, but I can't remember if it's a 2-liter or a 3-liter. And I think I need 3 liters for the amount of time that we're going to be between hut to hut. Because I figure even if it's,
Then there's no resupplying in between.
I'm sure there's creeks and stuff.
No, but there's no store stops or anything like that.
No, this is backcountry. We're in the middle of nowhere.
I assumed it
Yeah.
was, but I'm just, and
Yeah.
everybody that's listening even knows what hut to hut is. So.
I think you've got to carry everything.
Is it single track the whole way, or is it a mixture of forest roads and single track, or don't know?
There's an alternate route most days where you can elect to be single track or like double track forest roads and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
That was Brad.
yeah. There was a weird entity around me. But so I've really got to hunker down and get focused on that. And that's my plan for
So you got
this
a
coming week.
month to sort that one out.
Yeah. So this coming week, that's what I'm really focused on. I don't have any functions.
I would start with the hydration pack and trying that out.
Well, I mean, I have one that I've worn 100 times.
Okay.
So I'm comfortable with it. It's just, then I have to think. Adam sent me a beautiful, normally I'm not a spreadsheet guy, but he sent to the group a spreadsheet of a gentleman that has done hut to hut, and he kept a nerdtastic list of everything he carried, the weight of it, where he packed it on his bike, and the most important thing, whether he used it or not. So pretty cool for people to take notes like that and then to share. So I haven't spent near enough time with that list, and I want to go through that, pour over it, and kind of start seeing how much of that I want to take into my own accommodations and start kind of building my kit up. I don't, other than basic tools and repairs, like I want to have everything for tires. I'm going to carry probably 2 of those Ride Now tubes,
Okay.
the pink tubes, and probably 1 regular tube, just for peace of mind. And then
Because 2 of those Ride Nows are less than 1 tube.
Yeah.
So,
and then plugs, patches,
sewing kit.
probably a boot and a sewing kit. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably won't carry CO2s. Probably just a pump.
What's your pump?
See, that's the other thing is my pump. I've been carrying around the same pump forever, and it's probably not the best. But that's the other thing. There's 8 of us, and it doesn't make sense for 8 people to carry 8 pumps.
Understood.
So I think we are due for a meeting, the DFW crew, the crew that's going to continue on to Moab. And I think we're going to cover some of this stuff. Like the other thing is, do we need to carry a water filter? Do we need to filter water in Colorado? There's a lot of ag up there. So I don't know.
Right.
These are questions that I don't know. So I just need to get focused on getting myself set up for success for hut to hut in the middle of riding every day in the heat and all this,
Did you look at your spreadsheet and see if he had a water filter and if he used it or not?
Like I said, I haven't had enough time to spend with that.
I think that might be stop number 1 right there.
It really is. It really is. But that's what I've got hanging right now. And then I have a dinner on the 19th. And then the following weekend, we have the Chef's Kiss edition number 2.
So if you have a dinner on the 19th, you will not be going to Hell to North Texas then on the 20th.
No.
Fair to say?
Yeah.
Oh, just making sure.
Yeah.
Because I saw you signed up for it when I glanced at the list yesterday. It's like, oh, I forgot Brad had signed up for that one.
I was definitely planning on doing it. But
That's fine.
I got to make money too.
Trust me, I understand completely.
Yeah.
And then, we have Chef's Kiss 2 the following weekend.
Yeah.
And need to start. I need to start promoting that some
We have
more.
any signups for that?
3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have 3 so far. All women's. All women's.
They want to kiss the chef.
I'm not going there.
I'm kidding.
I'm not going there. But yeah.
And then that following weekend, that following week, we leave for Hut to Hut.
Yep.
Hopefully I'll be like super duper heat acclimated by that time. And I'll get to Colorado and just be like, oh, this is nothing.
What's your max elevation on that trip?
I think 12,000.
Oh, does it go? It goes to 12? I didn't realize it went that high.
I think the first day is our highest elevation. The first day is crazy. It's only like 18 or 20 miles, but you gain like 4,000 feet of elevation. It's insane. I figure it's going to be a bunch of hike-a-bike, but I don't know.
Understood. I think it would be fair to say, at least on the first day or two, if there's that much elevation gain and loss the first couple of days, your drinking water should be pretty safe there. So a filter wouldn't, amongst the group, wouldn't be a bad thing to have, because that's just all going to be ice melt there.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Should be.
I'm nervous. I'm just anxious,
No
ready
reason-
to be there.
I understand.
Ready to be in the mountains, period. Especially after enduring all of July, which I'm sure July is going to be a freaking bear. And have you watched The Bear, by the way?
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Every single episode.
Okay. I have not. I went back and started with season 3.
Understood.
And I'm a little bit more than halfway done with season 3. And I was surprised how much I had forgotten.
When I went to check on it after we recorded last week, because I didn't know if it was like available all day, if it came on at a certain time. Saw that it wasn't coming on till like 7.
People still record stuff?
Huh?
You said you recorded it.
Is that what I said?
Uh-huh.
No, I went to check. I don't know what I said. Anyway, no, I went to check to see when it came on. So I went to Hulu and see what time the new episode came on, to see if it was on all day or it came on at a certain time. And it came on at 7, but then I realized that I had left off season 3, rewatching it somewhere along the way. So I started watching season 3 or running it in the background.
Yeah.
Which just reminded me how much I really like the show.
So good.
Season 4 has some fantastic episodes in it, but I personally don't think it's the strongest season so far.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it at that. See what you come up with when you get there.
Yeah. Well, don't ruin it for me.
I'm not going
obviously,
to. I'm not going to.
I did accidentally see a preview or two of the new season, and it looks like there is a ton of celebrity cameos in it. That was my main takeaway. And during watching season 3, there is a reoccurring trailer for Jeremy Allen White, the main character in The Bear.
Yeah.
Isn't that his name, Jeremy Allen White?
Something like that.
Something like that. He is in the Springsteen movie,
Oh, okay.
which looks pretty good.
I had no idea there was a Springsteen movie.
Now
Makes
you
sense. It makes sense.
Now you know.
Did you see the Iron Claw one?
No.
Oh, he's in that
Want to
one.
see that? Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he's one of the Von Erichs.
Oh. I just listened to a podcast with, who's the lone survivor? Von Erich? Is it Kevin?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast with him. Man, what a rough childhood.
The movies. Jan had no idea who the Von Erichs were.
Yeah.
And she was just completely engrossed in it. And like halfway, this is a true story. It's like, oh God, yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Talk about just tragedy struck. I mean, it's wild.
yeah.
But the Springsteen movie looks interesting.
Okay. I see him doing that. I mean, I assume he's Bruce in the movie.
Yeah. They still call me Bruce. And then the small group of us are going to see Spinal Tap on Saturday. I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you've never seen it? Where's that showing?
Cinemark in Roanoke.
Okay.
Yeah. So excited about that. Like I said, I've never seen it, and it's one of those movies that people quote all the time.
I about to say I'm absolutely shocked you haven't seen that one.
And I find myself quoting it, and I have never seen it. It seems
It's almost along the lines of Idiocracy or Office Space, where it's just so ingrained into
Modern
the pop
culture, yeah.
culture aspect of things, and it's so quotable.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to designate a segment next week to your thoughts on Spinal Tap. It'll be interesting to see what your takeaways from that are.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a dumb movie, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
And how old is that movie? It's got some age on it.
mid 80s,
Yeah. Yeah.
if not early, mid 80s would be my guess.
Yeah. So, and then, going to ride today. I'm already sitting at like 6 hours for the week. So, not a bad place to be. 7 hours after today.
Don't get ahead of yourself. It's not done till it's done.
No, that's true. But I mean, probably will not ride tomorrow. And then 4th of July is on Friday. Definitely going to ride on Friday. Hopefully get 2 hours in on Friday. And then Saturday, maybe an hour in the morning before, I think the movie's at like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So maybe an hour there. And then on Sunday, probably a decent ride. Hopefully 3 to 4 hours on Sunday. So I think I should hit hopefully 14.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't do the math in real time, but I'm trying to hit that 14-hour mark every week from here on out. Last week was super light. I think I only had 6 hours or something. Hell, I might not have even had that much. But trying to hit it hot and heavy this week. So
I think you've done that so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've done that so far, and we'll definitely keep you in check today if I'm your pace bot today.
yeah, my whole goal today is just to spin the legs.
Understood.
No efforts.
Understood.
Last night was
I'm your man if you want to ride with no effort. No doubt about
last
that.
night was borderline crippling. West Side was miserable. It was so hot. So hot.
And we're not even to the point yet. The heat's starting to radiate off the rocks over there, but give it another few weeks.
But the West Side just gets no breeze. It's
Yeah.
so stagnant, so thick.
Yeah.
And, the leaves are just off-gassing.
Man,
and it's a lot.
I might have to do Hell on Wheels again just for the sake of it.
We did an hour, my time on the West Side was an hour and 19 minutes, which is, I've done a sub hour on the West Side before.
I mean, as hot as it was, that's actually not
It was,
terrible.
and then I got on the East Side and I was like, the temperature had kind of broken a little bit and there was a breeze.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was cloud cover came in. And I was like, I feel good now. My legs opened up a little bit. And so I very rarely ride North Shore with gears. So I got on a couple of those flat open wide spots and I just grabbed a couple of gears and I was like, oh, let's do 16, 17 miles an hour. It was fun. So even after feeling like I was tortured on the West Side, I cranked out like a 105 east.
All right.
Which isn't bad at all.
No.
Especially in the heat. So it was good. So I got 22 miles of straight trail last night. It's good stuff.
Very nice. Very nice.
So,
We should probably get our pieces together and start riding here pretty soon.
yeah, buddy. Yeah. We're going to do what we always tell you guys to do. We're going to go ride our bike.
This bill legalizes sawed-off short guns.